My dear child, upon opening this message, an unseen door in your fate quivered, indicating that someone unexpected is about to sever their connection with you for good. This individual believes they possess a justification so profound, so intensely personal, that the universe seemed to pause before allowing you to confront this reality. Today, there exists a palpable tension surrounding your energy, a peculiar resonance suggesting that something significant is eluding your grasp, though you may not yet discern its form. This sensation is far from arbitrary. A decision regarding your relationship has quietly taken shape without your awareness. This decision bears your name, inscribed with a hesitant hand. And the rationale behind it is poised to unsettle you in unforeseen ways. Remain present, for what you are about to learn is the very cause of the burdensome, muted, and unpredictably tumultuous feelings you have been experiencing. The individual closing the door does so not out of animosity, but fueled by apprehension regarding the person you are evolving into. What you were unaware of is that a conversation unfolded yesterday in your absence, centered entirely on your future. One voice declared, "They no longer require my presence," to which another responded, "Their transformation is occurring too swiftly." Unbeknownst to them, your silence has never been indicative of weakness. Nor has your growth constituted an assault, it is merely the natural course of evolution. However, the individual at the heart of this emotional tempest perceives the newly emerged version of you, a version that does not plead for validation, does not yield to pressure, and does not settle for less, as a threat. They have observed your journey from a distance, noting your influx of new opportunities, renewed strength, and enhanced clarity. Instead of expressing pride or offering support, they have convinced themselves that your success equates to their own irrelevance. This fear has morphed into insecurity, which has ultimately led to their choice to exclude you before your personal growth surpasses theirs entirely. The intensity of this situation is compounded by the fact that they have not communicated any of this to you. They are maintaining a facade of normalcy, yet within, they have already rehearsed the moment they plan to withdraw. They have revisited memories, messages, and promises of the past, questioning their own importance in your journey and whether your path has outpaced theirs. This contemplation has stung, a pain they cannot admit. Rather than confronting this feeling, they have fabricated a narrative. In their eyes, you are transforming into someone too powerful, too independent, and too resilient. They fear that you will abandon them first, leading them to decide to close their door before you even have the chance to reach for the handle. In their minds, they are attempting to protect themselves. Yet, what they fail to recognize is that destiny is safeguarding you by revealing this truth at the opportune moment. Another layer of deception is rising to the surface. Someone has provided them with inaccurate information about you, a distorted portrayal of your reality comprised of things you never said, did, or intended. This falsehood became the catalyst for their decision. A figure akin to a sibling, a friend, or an envy-driven outsider, unable to witness your ascent without discomfort, whispered words that severed the last thread of trust this individual had in you. Instead of pursuing the truth, they chose to accept the lie, fearing deep down that they did not merit your attention. That lie became a knife in their perception, and now they stand at the threshold of your connection, armed with that metaphorical knife, preparing to sever ties without affording you the opportunity to explain or defend yourself. However, here lies the pivotal twist that destiny wishes you to comprehend. The reason they are closing their door is precisely the reason the universe is simultaneously opening 10 others on your behalf. You are not experiencing abandonment, you are being redirected. You are not facing rejection, you are under protection. The individual choosing to depart does so because they can no longer keep pace with the enormity of the path that lies ahead for you. They deem you to be overwhelming. However, the reality is that you are finally embodying your true potential. This transformation is unsettling to those who previously relied on your quietude, gentleness, and availability. Their decision to close the door is not an ending, it serves as a jolt, propelling you into a new chapter that you have been intuitively preparing for throughout your life. My dear child, before you proceed, understand this: the moment you continue from this point, the energy surrounding your existence has shifted once more. The truth you are about to uncover is the precise moment when everything aligns, everything connects, revealing why someone is shutting you out for eternity, not due to any perceived weakness on your part, but because of your burgeoning strength. Stay engaged, do not divert your attention or scroll away, because every second from here on out represents a pivotal moment that will shape your perspective on certain individuals moving forward. A significant development is unfolding that bears your name, and you deserve to learn of it without interruption. A startling detail has surfaced: an individual communicated something about you intended to fracture trust. The one who accepted this narrative did so without questioning its veracity. This whisper emerged from profound jealousy, simmering for months, waiting for an opportune moment to inflict damage. They observed your returning radiance, your rekindled confidence, and your aligned blessings, causing their discomfort. They feared relinquishing their influence over how others perceive you. Thus, they concocted a narrative, a twisted rendition of who you are, and presented it as poison. Regrettably, the person you care for ingested this poison, unaware that it was devoid of truth and was merely insecurity masquerading as concern. This singular falsehood became the key rationale for their decision to close the door. The heartbreaking aspect is that you remain oblivious to the words uttered, yet they have altered everything behind the scenes. Still, destiny urges you to remain present, for the next revelation bears even greater weight. The individual severing ties has been scrutinizing your energy from the shadows, tracking your actions, silence, and progress. This has instilled fear within them. They perceived your gradual withdrawal, even when it was not occurring, misinterpreting your personal growth as distance, your healing as arrogance, and your strength as indifference. Each instance you opted for tranquility rather than chaos left them feeling supplanted. Each time you prioritized yourself, they believed you were favoring another. Instead of seeking clarification, communicating, or trusting in the bond you once cherished, fear convinced them that your evolution indicated their waning significance in your life. Consequently, they chose to protect their pride, even if it meant risking your connection. A deeper layer is now emerging. They examined your recent advancements, thinking, why would they still rely on me? They beheld your transformation into an individual they never anticipated, someone who no longer depends on others for completeness, does not break for affection, and does not pursue validation. Your growth overshadowed them, and instead of rising alongside you, they turned inward, culminating in the emotional collapse that led them to shut that door, not because you wronged them, nor betrayed them, but because your transformation illuminated their insecurities. Rather than confronting their own reflections, they chose to flee from it. Now, pay close attention, for this part is paramount. The universe is orchestrating a reversal. The individual who is withdrawing will soon recognize that they misjudged you, misunderstood you, and underestimated your depth of care. They will endeavor to reconnect, seeking to reopen the very door they are in the process of shutting. However, by the time they gather the courage to return, you will have already stepped into a phase of life where their absence no longer brings pain, and their presence ceases to dictate your identity. What currently feels like a loss is, in fact, a liberation. My beloved child, the atmosphere around you tightened the moment you delved into this segment because it is where the concealed shadows finally emerge into light. The heaviness you felt in your chest over the past few days, that peculiar tug, was not coincidental. It was the universe's preparation for you to unearth the authentic reasons someone is permanently closing you out. And trust that this truth is far more intricate, startling, and emotionally charged than you could ever have predicted. Remain attentive, for from this point onward, every word unfolds revelations intended for your understanding. Significant information has been withheld from you. Conversations mentioning your name transpired amidst frustration, insecurity, and quiet comparisons. Someone who feigns support and smiles in your presence, yet feels threatened behind your back, uttered something subtle yet perilous. They have changed, they no longer value you as they once did. Though uttered quietly and without fanfare, this statement was sufficient to plant doubt in the mind of the individual now closing the door. Coupled with their existing insecurities, they accepted this half-truth without reservation. This was never a deceit aimed at destroying you directly, rather, it was a calculated suggestion intended to erode your strength gradually, convincing them that you had surpassed them and that you no longer valued your shared moments. This doubt blossomed into a decision, and that decision is what you sense today. Yet there lies a deeper layer still. The individual who voiced this doubt was not random, they have a vested interest in your distance. They fear your potential as you cultivate emotional stability. They realize they lose influence when you are supported, loved, and understood. Thus, the distance they have paused to create serves their objectives. They have discreetly planted little seeds of doubt, a comment here, a suggestion there, subtle implications about your recent demeanor. The person closing their door remains blissfully unaware of the manipulation at work, believing they are crafting their own choices, oblivious to the strings being pulled by another. Destiny now reveals yet another layer. The true issue was never your actions, but rather your advancement. You began to shine differently, drawing in higher opportunities and evolving beyond the need for constant reassurance. Your personal growth has prompted others to reflect on their own journeys, leading them to question why they cannot achieve similar heights. Instead of feeling inspired, they succumb to feelings of inadequacy. Rather than celebrating your accomplishments, they internalized your success as a personal affront. Their fears escalated into emotional distance, and their insecurities manifested as silence, ultimately resulting in a metaphorical door closing between you. Yet, there is an intriguing twist that the universe is eager to unveil. The individual who has distanced themselves is grappling with more pain than you might imagine. They are not driven by anger, instead, they are overwhelmed. Their indifference is a guise for their fear of being left behind. The door they close does not signify a fault on your part, rather, it reflects their belief that you deserve more than they can currently provide. They think that their withdrawal will shield them from the discomfort of witnessing your progress. This is not abandonment, but rather a form of surrender. However, the universe is not finished. This separation has been allowed because your path is expanding in a direction that demands clarity and strength. Soon, someone who is more aligned and spiritually connected to your future will enter your life. The person stepping away would have obstructed that blessing with their doubts and fears. Thus, this closed door serves as a divine filter rather than a punishment. In this pivotal moment, when you acknowledge this aspect, a tremor coursed through the person who distanced themselves, as destiny now unveils the moment everything shifted for them. This is where the truth becomes unavoidable, where their justifications crumble, and your narrative evolves from one of rejection to one of remarkable elevation. The universe has eagerly awaited this moment, for it marks the beginning of their decision unraveling under the weight of reality. After choosing to close themselves off, they anticipated relief, only to be met with a profound emptiness. They mistakenly believed that creating distance would safeguard their pride, but it inadvertently revealed the one thing they wished to evade, the reality that their connection with you was one of the most potent forces in their life. They felt the immediate void, the absence of your presence, and a hollow shift in their universe from the moment they walked away. Now, they find themselves in a state of self-questioning, pondering whether they erred in their judgment, whether they misinterpreted your intentions, or whether they let the words of another destroy something invaluable. The truth is gradually and painfully dawning upon them: their actions stemmed from fear, not from reality. Yet, an additional layer is coming into view. Someone close to them has picked up on the change in their demeanor and unwittingly triggered their first moment of uncertainty with a simple inquiry: why are you distancing yourself from them? This seemingly innocuous question shattered their confidence, as deep down, they were unable to provide an honest answer. They couldn't confess their insecurities, acknowledge their manipulation, or admit that your growth intimidated them. Thus, they remained silent. This forced silence compelled them to reevaluate every interaction, every moment spent with you. With each memory, the narrative they constructed began to diverge from the reality of who you truly are. Now, destiny is revealing an unexpected turn. The individual who influenced their actions, sowing seeds of doubt about you, is about to expose their own inadequacies. A careless comment, an incongruous reaction, or a subtle contradiction will reveal their lack of genuine support for your relationship. The one who shut you out will experience a jolt of realization, understanding that they have trusted the wrong voice. This awakening will dismantle the illusion compelling them to confront the truth they have long avoided. You were never the issue, you were their anchor and stability. You were the one evolving while they succumbed to fear. Consequently, they closed the door based on unfounded apprehensions, not actual facts. Hold on, as we approach the most significant revelation. Destiny is orchestrating a profound shift that will soon confront the person who walked away with a reality they did not foresee, your brilliance without them, your ascendance without their endorsement, your tranquility without their involvement. As they observe you transforming into a stronger, more authentic version of yourself, the impact will resonate deeply. They will realize that they have severed ties with the very person capable of uplifting them. They will recognize that while they were questioning your potential, you were undergoing a remarkable evolution. While they retreated, you flourished. Destiny will ensure they feel the weight of this truth. My cherished child, as you embrace this transformative stage, destiny draws closer. We have arrived at a critical juncture where the universe transitions from subtle hints to undeniable truths that demand attention. Everything concealed behind closed doors, every repressed emotion, every masked fear is now surfacing. What follows is a development that they did not anticipate, the repercussions of distancing themselves from someone whose energy was a cornerstone of their balance. Their world will begin to realign. Initially, they attempted to convince themselves that shutting you out was prudent. They distracted themselves with daily routines, feigning indifference. Yet, the universe does not harbor secrets for long. Gradually, memories of you began to resurface, your kindness, your unwavering support, your non-judgmental listening, and your genuine care even in times of difficulty. Every recollection they tried to suppress grew louder, culminating in a moment they could not escape, the realization that life felt burdensome without you. They had thought distance would deliver peace, but it instead left them grappling with unanswerable questions. However, the universe is not yet finished. The individual who sowed doubt has begun to treat them differently, exhibiting subtle shifts in tone or brief moments of irritation when referencing your name. These seemingly minor alterations ignited a spark of suspicion, leading them to ponder, were they looking out for me or manipulating me? This single inquiry triggered an avalanche of clarity, prompting them to replay past conversations and juxtapose them against their lived experiences. The truth became irrefutable. The individual they trusted was not leading them towards enlightenment, rather, they were separating them from you for their own ulterior motives. This realization rocked their foundation, and now their heart is burdened with a weight they were unprepared for, regret. Not the fleeting kind, but a heavy, persistent regret that keeps them awake at night and prompts a thorough reassessment of every choice that has led them to this juncture. They begin to perceive a pattern. They close the door on the one person who stood by them through tumultuous times. They rejected the only soul whose intentions were untainted. They misinterpreted your silence as distance, your growth as arrogance, and your evolution as disconnection. Now, the world feels chillier, as the warmth you once provided is no longer accessible. Yet here lies the divine twist that destiny wishes for you to grasp. While they languish in their self-created turmoil, you are emerging. You are entering a new chapter marked by enhanced clarity, purer intentions, and a strengthened spirit. You are reconnecting with your purpose, rediscovering your strength, and attracting energies that resonate with your true self. The universe is arranging new connections, opportunities, and alignments that were previously obstructed by the burden of your past relationship. Their closed door was not the end, it was your liberation. Destiny does not close a door without preparing another one illuminated by brighter possibilities, clearer pathways, and elevated frequencies. You are being ushered into a realm where authenticity surrounds you, where loyalty meets you halfway, and where love flourishes with purpose rather than diminishes in fear. The individual who withdrew will witness your ascendance from afar, recognizing too late that they misinterpreted your silence, misjudged your intentions, and misunderstood your heart. My cherished child, the moment you embraced this narrative, destiny sighed in relief. We now embark on a chapter where everything that transpired behind your back begins to align in your favor, where the universe responds to injustices done to you, and where your story transitions from painful separation to powerful awakening. What you are poised to step into is not merely a realization, but a profound revelation that will reshape your self-perception, your journey, and the connections you embrace moving forward. This is the genesis of a monumental shift. While they grapple with regret, you are ascending to a new energetic frequency. Your spirit has been undergoing quiet preparation. Healing wounds that have remained unspoken, fortifying aspects within you that once felt vulnerable, and honing your intuition to unprecedented levels of clarity. Every setback has sharpened your perspective. Every delay has fortified your resilience. Every disappointment has redirected your course. Now, destiny is opening avenues where closed doors signify not losses, but confirmations of the universe's intent to remove anyone incapable of enduring your next chapter. There is a deeper truth unspooling as we speak. The individual who shut you out is gradually realizing that their life is stagnating. Opportunities appear to be slipping away, conversations feel burdensome, and there exists an unexplainable emotional imbalance. All of it traces back to the moment they chose to walk away, for they failed to recognize that your energy was not merely a presence, it was a blessing. Your bond served as a spiritual anchor, a source of grounding they hadn't known they depended upon. The stability you provided was subtle but powerful. In its absence, their surroundings feel unsteady, their world quietly trembling. Destiny ensures they feel the void of what they once took for granted. Meanwhile, the universe is leading you to venues where your worth is swiftly acknowledged. You are entering a phase where your kindness is cherished, not exploited, your silence is embraced, not misunderstood, and your growth engenders inspiration instead of intimidation. New faces are aligning with your future, individuals armed with clear intentions, balanced energies, and sincere hearts. These new connections will support your journey rather than question it, celebrate your progress rather than fear it, and accompany you without trying to impose their will over your path. This is the transformative shift that destiny has been meticulously crafting for you. Every preceding event was essential to make way for what is to come. Yet, destiny's revelations are not complete. The person who chose to close their door is beginning to experience a sensation they cannot ignore. The universe is aligning in your favor. This is evident in the way others speak of you, the vibrant energy you now exude, and even in your tranquil demeanor. People recognize your newfound radiance and growing confidence. This revelation cuts deeper than any other realization. They believed that excluding you would grant them an advantage, yet fate has bestowed that advantage upon you. They walked away under the impression that you would pursue them, falter, or doubt your worth. Instead, you are evolving. You are ascending. You are becoming impervious to anything that does not resonate with your energy. Now, fate prepares to reveal its final twist. The door they once closed is not barred. It shall reopen, not through your efforts, but through theirs. They will return, filled with confusion, curiosity, and a fractured understanding of the events that transpired. However, by the time they make their return, you will not be there waiting. You will have found your place, where your peace resonates louder than your sorrows, your purpose outweighs your attachments, and your heart refuses to contract to fit into spaces that never valued you.